It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Carrie Brown team from Preferred Advisors.
Good Saturday morning to you. This is Carrie Brown, Associate Broker with eXp Realty and the Preferred Advisors team, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. So if you haven't heard, the market is crazy. There are not enough homes on the market for the number of buyers that are out there. So if you're a buyer right now, mercy. I feel for you. We're seeing multiple offers on homes. As long as you're priced somewhere in the ballpark of right, your home's selling and you're typically getting multiple offers. So if you've ever thought about selling, seriously, can't even express it enough. We are so deficient on the number of homes on the market that it's crazy. I know a lot of people aren't putting their homes on the market because they're freaking out because they have no place to go. I actually have a seller that thought, you know what, I'm going to capitalize on this market. I'm going to go ahead, sell my house, and have no idea where I'm going. Finally found him a home, or his family a home, and nick of time. But they are actually going to be homeless for a period of time. So, depends on how much you want to gamble with that. This will be my second show, I think, ever that I'm actually on my own. I've always had a guest, made my show all about the guest. So it's really weird that it's just me. This is actually my last show on 580 and 104.9 for Real Estate 101. So kind of sad, but at the same time pretty excited because the show is moving to podcast, which will also be a part of a blog. So I like to call it Show and Tell because obviously, if you've been listening to the show, you get to hear what we're talking about, but you don't actually get to see it, and I'm more of a visual learner anyway. So I thought it would be so much fun for you to actually see what we're talking about. And I think it's a lot more educational. So we're going to spin it that direction. And if you're interested in following along and learning about real estate, through the show, I'll be talking about all the different topics that'll be on there. So I really hope for it to be the go-to place for anything real estate. The websites, we did two different names because my name is not exactly the easiest to spell. So if you want to follow along, www.realestate101talk.com or www.realestate101-carriebrown.com. And my name is... The easiest way to remember it is Karen, drop the N, put a Y, Karey, Brown. And so that's how you spell it. My parents were creative. I have a twin brother named Terry, Terry. I don't know how he got that and I got this, but it is what it is. And so if you want to follow along, the whole purpose of the blog is really the whole reason why I did this show is to educate consumers because real estate is really typically the most expensive thing anybody ever buys. I really felt like the community needed to understand what they were getting themselves into and really get to meet and get to know the people that are in the industry because otherwise they're just a name on a page if you're looking them up somewhere. And so I hope that I've done that over the years, and I hope to continue to do that. This time you're going to get to see some faces, get to really see the personality. We'll be doing a lot of it via a Zoom type platform. And so on the blog, what you'll be seeing are things like Home Buying 101. So if you're a home buyer, you would go out or you know somebody that needs to be buying a home. We're going to be really breaking it down. What do you need to know? It's not just the fluff pieces. It's not like the obvious. You need to go get pre-approved. You need to, put together your wish list. You need to pick out an agent. It's going to be like, what kind of inspections am I looking at? What do I need to know? Is a sewer cam important and why is it important? I was telling a potential new agent today that our obligation to a consumer is to make sure that they know what they're getting themselves into. And one of the things that I really dislike about our industry is we can't share out our contracts. We can't just give them to you because they're not ours. They're our board's. And there are reasons for that and really good reasons for that. But at the same time, whenever you've seen a house and you really love it, all you're thinking with typically is emotion. You're thinking, I want this house. I want this house at all costs. This is the house I love. This is where I want to raise my family. This is where I want to, have my parties or just anything. And so you're looking at that, and then the reality part of it kind of fades away. And that's what a good real estate agent is there for. It's to make sure that the roof isn't shot. And if it is, what are we going to do about it? Is the sewer line okay? Because you can't see that. Is the foundation okay? Does it need support beams? Is the electrical box acceptable? Is anything double tapped? Is my house going to burn down? A house is just like anything. You live in it, and you don't walk around every day thinking, oh, well, I need to repair this, or, oh, when was the last time I checked that? Not everybody has that super organized personality. And if you do, man, can you just come live with me? But it's just not normal for everybody every day to notice. And so that's when we find it. We find it in a home inspection. So really where the rubber meets the road with the real estate agent is what's their advice. If somebody's telling you, oh, well, the best thing you can do is not do a home inspection because that's going to make your offer stronger. In a competitive market, it does. But is it the best thing for you? Do you have the budget to withstand what could happen? Whenever you move in and all of a sudden your toilet's backing up, is the sewer okay? A sewer can run thousands and thousands of dollars. Do you have that money? So those are the conversations that you really have to look at. I'm a firm believer that if you lose a house, it was meant to happen. I'm a strong negotiator, but at the same time, whenever you get in there, I don't want you hating me because you got in there. So I think having a strong real estate agent that really educates you, and that's the purpose of the blog. I want you to understand what you're getting yourself into, what those costs are, what you can expect, why you should negotiate one way versus another. Home sellers, same thing. What can I do to be prepared so that I'm not caught, you're thinking, okay, well, everything's okay. I've got my house ready to go. It looks really pretty, but did I look at the fundamentals? Did I look at the things that are really going to cost a lot? Do I have a lot of trees? Have I been having sewer problems? There are insurances that will help with the cost of sewer line replacement. There are insurances that will cover the or warranties that will cover the cost of replacements of furnaces and hot water heaters and things like that. So there are so many things that as an agent we could be helping you with that a lot of people don't even know exist. So I want to make sure you know about it. And so those sections are there. They'll be loaded. So we're still loading it. So if you log in early, just have some patience with us. We're loading them a little bit at a time so that it's not too much on all of us. There are sections in there if you're an investor or wanting to be an investor, how to understand what's a good buy and what's a good way of making sure that if you get a bad tenant, what could happen, and what's a good way to make sure that you can get them out if you need to without lengthy processes, how to stay compliant. Also, how to protect your investments. So 1031 exchanges, I will have attorneys on again to really break down how to protect things that you've worked your life for. And also equity exchanging, we're really going to break it down. I've got some really great guys that are really good at explaining it. I've been doing it for years. It's, to me, I call it an adrenaline rush because I really get a kick out of it. I love seeing how it all comes together. It's not your standard real estate deal. It's not like, hey, I found a buyer, I've got a house, I'm going to write a contract and sell your house. It's 12 deals deep trying to make something happen, and it's all happening inside of a shelter of 1031, so nobody's taking a massive hit. And so it's really a lot of fun. So we're going to break that down. So it's a true educational blog with a lot of show and tell. You're going to meet some really cool people that I've had on the show before, but you're going to get to see their faces and hear them talk and see their examples and have them visually explain to you how it works. If you're a real estate agent, or if you've thought about being a real estate agent, there's going to be sections in there for you. So sections that explain, what you should be doing, education-wise, videos that walk you through how to fill out forms correctly, how to explain them correctly, how to make sure that you're covering everything that needs to be covered so that whenever you're doing your career, you are amazing at it. Not that I'm a perfect person. There will be other people on there besides me, but there's a lot of experience. Been doing this for a long time. Have a lot of experience with a lot of different categories and trial and error. I call it baptism by fire. I've had a lot of it. Anymore, if I call Vern, I like to stump him because usually they're fun. Well, not necessarily fun, but there's some pretty interesting questions that I run into over the years, like what do you do with 2,000 tires that someone's buried in their yard or stripped out plumbing? What do I do with the waste? All kinds of crazy stuff. I have seen it all. Sewer lines that wrap themselves around a block. Studebakers that are actually sewers or septic tanks. So you name it, I've probably run across it. Not a know-it-all by any means, so I will definitely have a lot of really cool people that I will have on as a guest. But a lot of the education stuff I'll be putting together for agents so that you're prepared. Really want people to know what they're doing and succeed at what they're doing. So blog-wise, really want people to check it out, get to know, learn everything, answer your questions. It will eventually be an interactive vlog. We're still trying to work through the kinks of that to where you would be able to ask questions, email newsletters, so you can go in and say, okay, hey, sign me up. I want to learn about these things. And you will also be able to search for homes. Through EXP, obviously, our search it's massive. It's all of the United States, just about. And also, we're in 11 countries. There will be a section in there that talks about EXP. So number one, why I chose to go to EXP after owning Realty Executives and being with other companies, why would I choose to go to a company that really no one here locally knew a whole lot about? So it's a really good company, and I think that a lot of people should know about it. So even consumers, if you want to check it out. So back to the market. Again, if you're looking to buy or sell, if you're looking to sell, mercy. It is amazing. Even investments that I've had on the market for quite some time, even took off the market, have deals that are working on them, even though they're not actually on the market because people knew that I had them. It's crazy. Our team has actually resorted to saying, hey, listen, we're about ready to start knocking on doors. I have been emailing neighborhoods and calling neighborhoods to say, hey, I have a house or I have a buyer that is pre-approved. I am not someone that makes stuff up. I am not going to call a neighborhood just to call a neighborhood. I'm past those days. I only call if I have someone that is determined to live in that area. So make the calls and trying to find somebody that wants to sell. But then the problem is that there's no place for them to go. So it's created this shift that's just crazy because I think if everybody that was so nervous about not having a place to go actually put their houses on the market, then we would solve the problem. But everybody's kind of got to get there, It's pretty weird. It's weird. I've never seen our inventory so low. And then a lot of people are renting, just trying to wait out, just try and see. So I think it really does revolve around everybody being too scared to put their homes on the market. There are ways to negotiate you not having to move immediately. So ask your agent, how can I do that? Really, it has to be in the marketing up front. And like to say, listen, we can't move before. As long as you disclose up front, your buyer knows that. They know going into it that we're not going anywhere until this date. So there are ways to do that so that you're not having to stress so much about it. So more tips to come after a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
Are you looking for a career that provides you with wealth based on your level of effort, with multiple levels of income, including passive long-term income? If you are interested in real estate or are currently a real estate agent and want to work with a company that wants you to retire with long-term passive income, call your local eXp Realty agent today. And if you don't know one, call Carrie Brown at 785-249-6309. You deserve more of what you worked so hard to earn, and eXp is where you should be.
Does your dirty air ducts have you continuously dusting? Ditch the dust brush for our duct truck. Capital City Duct Cleaning is Topeka's new veteran-owned air duct and dryer vent cleaning service. Call today, 785-484-2801, or visit us online at capitalcityductcleaning.com for your free quote.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish. In today's world, health is a huge concern, and Euphoria has the answer. Euphoria is the one and only company to offer personalized designer nutritional supplements based upon your DNA profile with nearly 400 million unique formulas. A DNA test unlocks the secrets to your actionable genes and their influence on your body. Euphoria's home-based DNA non-invasive saliva kit is all you need to send your sample to the lab. You'll receive a customized report addressing your DNA deficiencies with an action plan. To learn more, go to myfuture.euphoriascience.com. Make 2021 your healthiest year yet.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Carrie Brown, Associate Broker with eXp Realty and the Preferred Advisors team. If you missed the first half of the show, just an update. This is the last Real Estate 101 show on Talk Radio. We are moving to blog, so it is not the last show. It's just a different format. It'll be on a blog. And so we'll be doing more of a visual learning type thing. So that blog is www.realestate101talk.com or realestate101-carrybrown.com. Karey is how you spell my name. So a lot of educational stuff. You can sign up for email newsletters so that you'll know what's going on as the blogs get posted. A lot of education stuff. So be sure and check that out. And so before the break, I was talking about if you're a seller and you're panicking because you really want to make the money that everybody's making right now, which is crazy, but you're scared because you have no place to go. Again, there are ways to negotiate that. You don't have to be stuck being homeless. We have to look at a plan. Definitely something to ask about. I do believe that if sellers were to put the homes on the market, that would definitely solve a lot of problems. There is a lot of buzz going on about Zillow right now and becoming their own real estate brokerage. All I can really say about that is anytime you look into something different or new, even with out-of-state lenders, you should always have an estimate. Any agent, actually, should always give you a net sheet. Anytime you're meeting with someone and they are breaking down costs, you need to know what they are. Plain and simple. There should not be any kind of surprises. That is going to go with Zillow to compare them. That's all I'm going to say about that. Make sure that you really understand what you're getting yourself into. And then as far as the purchase of showing times, they actually purchase showing times. I've got a friend that I will actually have on the blog that I just got to know really well. She has started and it's not for release yet, but it is a showing system to where agents, as a seller, you would know when an agent is actually at your house. So it's called geofencing. So you'll know when they enter your boundary around your property, and you'll know when they leave it. So you don't have to worry about your Ring camera. It'll notify you. But the agent also doesn't get the code until they're actually at the property. So be sure and check that out of the blog. I think that is really cool. It's very, very seller driven, which obviously is what you want whenever you have your house on the market. I hope to be rolling that out for our team soon. Still working out the kinks, so we don't want to be a part of the kink problem, but I think it's going to be really cool. Again, the blog, as far as things to check out, you'll be able to do just about everything that you need to on there and learn about. There are so many really great just sections from like understanding foreclosure. Number one, Kansas is a redemption state. That means that, let's just say you get behind on your mortgage and foreclosure starts and it goes to sheriff's sale. In a redemption state, you have 90 days after the sheriff's sale to redeem the property, meaning you could buy it back. Obviously, that means you're going to be buying back any kind of fees or debts or anything. And then at that point, then they can actually come in and get the property. So we're going to be breaking that down, but we're also going to be breaking down how to purchase foreclosed properties, what you need to know, because there's a lot of confusion about that, what they'll pay for, what they won't pay for, how to maneuver some of the sites, what to understand, what you get yourself into. Can you do inspections? Can you not do inspections? We're going to answer all of that. Home repairs, there will be a lot of really great tips from a lot of really good contractors that'll walk you through some really cool things that as a homeowner you can do yourself and some that you probably shouldn't do yourself and why. Home inspections, we're going to have some guys on there talking and gals talking about, what they're looking for and why they're looking for it so that as a seller you can prepare yourself, but also as a homeowner or a home buyer, what do I do if I decide to accept that in a property to buy it? What am I looking for? Costs and what they're doing while they're there. Everybody's so scared of the home inspection, but at the same time, it's there to protect everybody. And there are a lot of things to do beforehand to protect yourself. Same thing with appraisals. We're going to be talking about that, talking to appraisers, having them answer your questions. What are they looking for? What's going to be a red flag? How can you reduce your retrip fees if you just do something up front? A lot of people think, well, if I just sell as is, I'm just going to take that burden off myself. But what you don't really realize is sometimes doing as is means you're also taking less money because that buyer automatically understands that they're taking more risk. So what if what the repairs really aren't worth the loss that you're going to take by selling a property as is? So we're going to break that down. Understanding agency. I think everyone should understand what their agent is there for, what they're doing, what to expect, and how other agents are different. So, why, or better yet, how to choose. Are you somebody that knows what you're doing and you just need somebody to write the paperwork? Or are you somebody that says, listen, this is what I hired you for. This is what you're there for. Who's paying who and what am I getting for my dollar? And then probably my favorite part, and she's actually my first blog on the blog, is actually about Tammy Thiessen with Thiessen Design Company. And having her on the show was so much fun as a co-host because she's got so much energy and she gave me so much inspiration to go home and just change something else. But, I kind of like to do that on my own too. My husband's like, one of these days, all of our walls are just going to fall in because Carrie's painted them so many times. Might be true. Might be a little bit of an exaggeration. You never know. But some really cool pictures of how she's taken, not that there was anything wrong with it, but just kind of cookie cutter or, just kind of standard and made it something like, wow. And how she does it. I mean, there's some really, really cool pictures and how to link to her site. You'll actually have a way to where everyone that's on the blog, you'll actually be able to communicate with them directly. So there's a form that you can go in and fill out an email to them directly, get on all of their social media. So that'll be cool. An easy way to just reach out right quick. And especially if you like what they're doing, all of the old shows that they've been on as a guest will actually be in their post, but we'll ultimately be loading more face-to-face. So you really get to see their face, you really get to see who they are, and get to know their personality so you can understand why you want to work with them. So fun stuff that we've got going on. Obviously, Barbara Corcoran, everybody knows that she endorses myself and my team. We've got some really cool stuff that will also be on there where you can see her and I talking via Zoom. Some cool endorsement things that she's doing that are a little bit different. It's so funny. Whenever it first came out, everybody thought that I photoshopped her in. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. Can you imagine the lawsuit if somebody photoshopped Barbara Corcoran into something like that? Anyway, and then something really fun that's coming out, and hopefully everybody sings along to. Don't be mad at me if you do, and it gets stuck in your head. But Gary Laveau is the lead singer of Rascal Flatts. He is actually recording a little ditty about why you should use me to sell your house, and I think it's hilarious. He is so much fun. So you'll actually be able to see the video of him doing it. It'll be the rough cut of it. Obviously, whenever he goes into the studio, it'll be the final cut, but actually a video of him doing it so nobody can say that I didn't, how do you Photoshop somebody in? Anyway, go figure. So that's some fun stuff going on. Hoping to do some guest spots to still be able to do the radio, but, after so long, you get to where you feel like you're out of you're out of just topics. What else are you going to talk about? So you definitely want to be able to do the service that you feel like you're here for. And I feel like I've talked about all of it. Now I just want to be able to say, okay, let's look at it and really break it down and show you what we're talking about. So that it's really educational. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really, really hope everybody follows along. I'm going to give you the site one more time. It's www.realestate101talk.com or www.realestate101-carriebrown.com. So be sure and check that out. If you're looking to buy or sell, be sure and give us a call at 785-213-5188. Check out our websites. So website-wise, we're going to be doing a little bit of a spin, which is going to be really cool because it'll be a very, very interactive website to be able to go out and set up your own searches, which we already have that now. We're just going to be taking it to the next level. So we are on 4 MLSs. So we're on Kansas City, Lawrence, Topeka, and Manhattan, also Ohio. So the website will have all of that there, but hoping to be able to link in with EXP and make it a little bit broader. So we'll see how that goes. So be sure and check that out. So not going away, just not going to be here. I have no idea who's going to be replacing the spot, but I'm sure they're going to be wonderful. I am very, very grateful to have been on the show and to have listeners like you guys for so long. I really do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. I have loved all the stories of people telling me, listen, I wanted to list my house with you because I felt like I know you from listening to you on the radio show. So I think that's awesome. I am definitely one of those, I am who I don't put on airs. I'm just not capable. I'm just a very ornery, normal person. So if you ever see me, be sure and walk up to me and say, hey, especially if you start singing this ditty that Gary's going to do. I'm sorry about that, but it's kind of the point. And he sings really well, so it should be really fun. So hope you like it. And I really, really do appreciate you listening all this time. If you ever want to reach out, be sure and give me a call, 785-213-5188, or shoot me an email. Our email is letstalk, LETSTALK, @preferredadvisorsteam.com. Thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Carrie Brown team from Preferred Advisors.